talking about.
The feed rates we're going at so you said 800, 700-800. The belts compression. That's why we get longer life out of them. Let's see. We're doing probably the high and low gear where we go into that piece. Because we're trying to do the
Okay, so we're only going to adjust this when we have the power turned on. Again, we want to range between 600 and 800. And the way that we can do that is that we control the depth of cut and the feed rate that the bed is moving. So within the programming then, we're going to control that and try to make our machine last longer by keeping in that range. And now if you were doing a finish cut or something like that where you're taking a really small, fine cut where you wanted a nice finish on your part, you could turn the machine speed up. But for just basic machining purposes, we want to run between 600 and 800. And then again, we'll adjust the feed rate of the bed and the depth of cut in order to get the part machine. Okay, this is on off. If you turn it to 1, now when we're in low gear, let's talk about the gears right now. This is the lever over here, controls low and high gear. We're in high gear right now, and I just move this lever arm down. You can see here, now I'm in neutral. You can see it spins freely. And I've been trying to get it in high gear all morning. And
in low gear?
Yeah, I've been trying to get it in low gear all morning. Oh, there I am. So now I'm in low gear. I'm going to turn it a lot more speed. It's a lot harder to turn. This is for power tapping, or if you're using a very large feather head or a very, very hard to turn, you want to turn it down to a lower speed so you have more power and less speed. And so this is where you'll adjust that. And also when you're doing some setups, sometimes you want it to be in neutral, like if you're trying to center out. To delimitate a cylindrical part, then you want to have it in neutral in order to do it. I'll show you how to do that later on. But most of the time, we're going to run it in high gear. If you have trouble getting it in gear, if you have it in neutral, you just kind of push up on the handle and turn the spindle with your hand, and that'll lock it in gear. As far as the parts of the machine go, this is the bed. This has your X and your Y on it. You can adjust the bed by turning the crank wheels. This is going to be my X negative. This is going to be my X positive. This is going to be Y negative. This is Y positive. And then this is going to control my Z axis. It's the spindle. So this handle is going to move up and down, which is going to move the quill. This is the quill that's moving right here. This is the spindle that I'm moving right here. That is what moves it up and down. This is your height adjustment for the table, for the bed. This crank handle is going to adjust it up and down. You can see here it's kind of got some splines cut into it, and that's going to spline into our height adjustment here, and that's going to raise and lower my bed, my bed. Okay. When you get done with this adjustment, good idea to turn that around like this so you don't bang your knees on this handle. And also, if you would happen to hit, if I had it like this, and I would happen to hit that and turn it, then I've just thrown off my height adjustment. So a good idea to turn that around so that you don't bump into it. Okay, as far as lubricating the machine, it's very, very important to keep the machine lubricated because this, again, turns at very high speeds. And also we have some bearings in here. We want to make sure that they stay lubricated so the machines last longer. You've got 3 different points that you have to worry about lubricating. You've got this point here, which lubricates the gear head. You've got this point here that lubricates the quill. And then down here you've got this pump that lubricates the weigh bearings for the table. So you want to check all 3 of those things every time that you use it. Now, you don't have to necessarily lubricate it, but if somebody's been using it during the day, you wouldn't have to lubricate it if you know somebody's been using it and they indeed lubricated it. But you want to make sure that it has been oiled at least at some point during the day. 2 different lubricants you're going to use. For the top, you're going to use this can which has DTE 24. It's a heavier body lubricant, and it's for the gears and the quill. Okay, so we're just going to take this little brass piece off of here. And then to lubricate this, and I've already done this once today, but you're just going to flip, there's a lid on here, and flip that lid up. You're just going to put some oil in here until it overflows. You see it dripping out there. That's perfectly okay. I'll do the same thing over here on the quill. Just to keep those parts from wearing again, just till it's full. And then it's not a bad idea. And you see I've already oiled this today. There's some oil on it right now, but it's not a bad idea. Whoops. Put a little oil on the quill, just kind of rub it around there, just to make sure that you've got some oil so that that part doesn't wear out also. Just to help reduce the wear on the quill. And again, these things need to be done about once per day. If you're running this solid, like if you've got a part that takes several hours to do, probably ought to check that oil after you've run it constant for maybe a couple of hours. You might want to check and make sure you don't need to put some more oil. The DTE 24 is what goes in the upper part. Now over here this is the oil for the weight bearings. There's a pump right here. This lever arm, when you pull that down, it pumps up this tube to the weight bearings, which are underneath of the table. That's what the table moves on. And so if I'm the first person to use the machine for the day for sure, then I'm going to oil those weight bearings. And in order to do that, you just have to pull that handle down. And if you're the very first person to do it, then you're probably going to take about 2 to 3 pumps on that handle. And ultimately what I want is to get a little bit of oil coming out right here. That means that you've lubricated the bearings. Right here is the oil level. The red line is full, so it's been filled. I filled it at the end of the school year, so I know that it's full of oil. But that is basically, that's the lubrication that you have to do every day when you use the machine. It's your responsibility as the machine user to make sure that you have set up the machine properly, which includes lubricating the machine adequately.